Hi, have you ever tried to write your biography? Or at least thought of writing one? Well, I have. So what I was to go to my text editor and I started typing away my super biography and typing and typing. And then at some point I thought, oh, I forgot to include this thing that happened at this time. And oh, I should probably start putting dates to clearly see what happens when. And wait, I was not supposed to mention this until later. Why is this date before this other one? Didn't this happen later? And before you know it, you have a large unorganized document of text. Ah! Sound familiar? Well, whether the answer is yes or no, let me present something that could be helpful for this task. Hi, I'm Glosu. I wanted to create a program that would help me to easily and dynamically write my biography. And then I decided to implement the program as a website, so that others like you could use it too. That's how Biograph came to be. Yes, I'm really creative with names. That is the URL of my website. What's the premise? To write separate blocks of text that the website will automatically order according to specified dates. You do the writing and the website does the organizing. When done, you can export the whole biography as a PDF. There's 3 types of text blocks in the website: reportems, anecdote notes, and fact tales. And before you rush to the dictionary, no, those words are not real. They are made up. Let me explain what these mean. A reportem is the report of a term, so a summary or a description of a period of time. It follows that it has a start date and an end date. As examples, my last year in high school, my trip to Zimbabwe, my childhood, if you had one, and so forth. An anecdote comes from anecdote and denote. It represents an isolated day or an event worth recording. It has a date. Examples: my graduation day, the day we won the basketball league, my brother's wedding, etc. Biograph will include the anecdote notes in the reportem that they happened. So if you have a reportem that is the year 2006, and you decide to record Halloween 2006 as an anecdote note, this will appear in the 2006 reportem or section. Fact tale. Fact and tale. Just random information unbound to the timeline which is still worth recording. This doesn't have a date, so it's forever alone. Examples: my top 10 favorite food recipes, my most hated TV shows, languages I know and why I know them, and so forth. Biograph will include fact tales as appendices at the end of the biography. Now let's jump into a demo. Hi, welcome to Biograph. This is the home page of the website, and this video is the video that you are currently watching. Inception. Anyway, here down below is the information that I already explained. So let's just start writing our biography. For that we need to log in. And I'm going to sign in with my Google account. You also have the option of signing up with your email address, but I will sign up with my Google account. And we're logged in. You can now see the nav bar, which you can use to navigate through the website. And we are currently in the reportems page. Biograph tells us we have not created any reportems yet, so let's click New Reportem to create our first reportem. Let's say we want to write about our last year in university. So at title, we will write My Last Year at University. And let's give the start date and the end date. You can use these buttons here to navigate, like this navigates through months, this navigates through years, and this navigates through decades. If you see that the button is disabled, that means like you need to push the end date a bit further into the future, because the start date cannot happen after the end date, and the end date cannot happen before the start date, but that's why it's disabled over there. So my last year at university was in the year 2012. In the start date was actually September 2011, so 24 September. It didn't start on a Saturday. It started on a Monday, and it ended on 2012 in June. So there we go. And then we can start writing about this period. So my last year at uni was a drag. I really wanted to be done with it and get a real job. Now you can use, of course, bold, italics, underline if you want to make your content a bit prettier, but I'm going to write a bit more. I started off with chemistry, blah, 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 blah. So let's say that's what we want to say about our last year at university. We can assign an image to the reportem. We can select one of these local images, like for example this one that shows a university, or we can also use an external image if we give an image URL. Now the images over here are a reference for the website. They will not be printed in the PDF document, but they're nice to have in order to find what you're looking for. So we can click Save. And reporting my last year at university was created successfully, and here we can see it. We can inspect it over here and we see the small image. We can edit it, delete it, or we can go back to all. I'm going to add a few more reportems off screen now so that you can see how the list looks like. So as you can see, I added 2 more reportems, my trip to Finland and the summer when I developed Biograph. And even though our first reportem was my last year at university, Biograph has automatically ordered the reportems according to the date where they happened. You can also sort them alphabetically according to the title or by last update, but default is just like their start date. And you can also always refer to your last updated reportem if you want to fetch that one quickly. Additionally, you can always search by text. So if I type in develop, Biograph is going to show me 2 reportems that have the word develop inside. So also a really handy feature. So that's it for reportems. Let's go and to anecdote notes, and let's add our first anecdote note. Let's say we want to add our graduation day from our last year at university. Notice that now we only have a date because these are isolated days or events. This happened year 2012 and June 22, a Friday. So my graduation day, and let's enter some content. I was really nervous this day. So let's say that's all we want to write for our graduation day. And for the images, I'm going to use an external image this time because I think it would be nice if I used something else, and you can see that the Biograph web loads this external image. So save. And then anecdote, my graduation day created successfully. Again, off camera I'm going to add a few more anecdote notes. And we're back, and as you can see I've added 2 more anecdote notes, visiting Helsinki and my last math exam. If we go back to reportems and I load my last year at university, you'll notice that now I can also see which anecdote notes happened during this reporting period. So my graduation day and my last math exam, since these dates happened between the reportem's start date and end date, they appear here with the anecdote notes, and they will be put together in the final document. Now let's jump to factales. I'm also going to add a few factales off screen. They're pretty much the same story, although notice that factales don't have any dates because they're information that is not bound to a timeline. So I'll be right back. And we're back, and as you can see I added 2 factales to the biography. Now let's say we are satisfied with what we have with reportems, anecdote notes, factales, and we wish to print the biography. So we go to the print and export section, and we are asked to enter the title of the biography. So the biography of Glossu, no need for the L over there. And the standard format is a PDF, so we can click, and after some LaTeX compiling, we have a really nice document with the table of contents and our report terms, anecdotes, and fact tales as appendices. You may observe that report terms are made sections, and then anecdotes that happen during those report terms are added as subsections to the report terms. But yeah, so a pretty nice, straightforward PDF generated biography, which you can then download, print, do whatever you want with it. If you are familiar with LaTeX, you might prefer the uncompiled text file that generates the above PDF. So be my guest to use this locally and maybe add some local images or modify things to your heart's content. And you can also get all this information as a plain text file with report terms, anecdotes, and fact tales all stapled together. In this case, the anecdotes will not appear with the report terms, but you might just want to save these as a backup. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoy the website, and hopefully it can be of some use to you. If you have any questions, just hit me up. You can contact me through social media or email. And happy typing!